Shalom, bless you, sis. I just received your message, and I thought it was a perfect opportunity for me to actually answer your question live. So this is what you call, I guess, is it impromptu? I just received a question from a sister who will be assisting in a home birth, and it is pertaining to water birth. So I said, you know what, it's a perfect opportunity for me to go ahead and answer the question on video. So I think I'm going to start doing that more often because I get a lot of questions and I don't really get a chance to um, actually answer every single one, but a lot of them are kind of repeat questions. So I'm talking to you and I'm talking to my YouTube channel. So if you do have YouTube, you can go back to the YouTube and you can watch it again. But what I was asked was, um, how hot should the temperature for the water birth actually be? And to be honest, I'm gonna say it can be as hot as you can handle it. Okay. Now, if you don't take hot showers, I don't recommend you making the water really hot. I just don't recommend doing that. But if you're accustomed to taking hot showers or hot baths, then the same temperature that you would take your shower, your bath in is the same temperature that you want to have for your water. Here's why. Once you get into the water, what's going to happen is your body is automatically going to adjust to that temperature. Okay, so you guys may see me look over here because I have my phone right here and I'm answering on video as well for the sister who contacted me. So I'm making her video while I'm making the video for you guys as well. Okay, so the question was, what should the temperature of the water be? And just in case you hear screaming in the background, that's probably my baby having a little altercation with his older brothers. He's gotten to the point where now he's testing the borders in the reins with them now. So you may hear him in the background. Um, the other question, I believe, was, I think, how to get out of the water, how to get her out of the water. And as pretty much up to the mother. Some moms, after they birth the babies in the water, they actually will stay in the water for about 20 minutes to 35 minutes. When I'm in the water, I normally get out. So once the baby is out, once the um, once I have him on my chest, or once he's once we figure out that he's alert and he's focusing in on me, then I normally get out of the water. I don't stay in the water too long, because for one, I've been in there not very long. I'm when I get in the water, I get in right before it's time for me to push. So if you are going to do a water birth, I recommend get in the water right before you're going to push. If you get in any sooner, it could affect whether or not you're going to deliver the baby in the water or not. Okay. So if this is your first time doing a water birth, or this is your first child, um, getting in the water, you don't want to get in there unless you are getting ready to push. And for first time moms, you need to check to see if you can see that the vulva is bulging. You can feel pressure on the rectum, or you can feel like baby's head in the canal. Okay, when you start feeling that, go ahead and get in the water. Okay, but if you're just trying to use the water as just a relaxing agent, just to kind of calm down the contractions or make it easier for you to cope with, then you can get in the water whenever you want. But I will tell you that your body is going to adjust almost immediately once you get into that water. So for me, I have the water hot. I take hot showers. My showers are so hot that my husband always tells me that I'm burning my skin off. Because when I get out of the water, I'm red. So For me, I can handle hot water, and it kind of depends on what your temperature setting is in your home. I think some homes, their water gauge isn't above 120. So if it's only 120, the water's not going to get that hot anyway. But I know our home, our water gauge was like, I want to say like 135, maybe 135, 140. Trust me, hot water. I know it probably shouldn't be that hot, but I don't know. I like hot water, hot food, hot weather. So I don't know. That works for me. But if it's 120, that's not really a very hot temperature. So you don't really have to worry about it burning mom or burning baby. Um, Getting out of the water, I get out within maybe 5 to 10 minutes after pushing the baby out. Like I said, once baby is alert, I make sure everything's good. I have a good hold of him. Then I climb out of the water. Um, and I don't deliver my placenta in the water. So if that's another question that may come up, I do not deliver my placenta in the water because I like to see what all comes out, making sure that the placenta is intact. And the best way for me to make sure it's intact is if I deliver it dry. If I deliver it out where we can see, okay, there's pieces missing, or okay, it's intact, but there's a clot here, or there's a hole. Okay, I see where the membranes burst. Okay, are all the membranes here? So for me, I don't recommend you delivering the placenta in the water. Some moms' placentas come right out following the baby. So if that does happen, then that's fine too. That's okay. But I normally get right out of the water so that I can deliver my placenta. Some moms stay in the water. They stay in there for like 25 to 35 minutes. So it's kind of up to you. I don't recommend it. I'm usually tired. I have so much energy right before the baby comes, and then once baby's out, I'm just like, I'm depleted of energy. So I do actually need help when I get out of the water. My husband will probably hold the baby, and then a sister, if she's there to assist, another sister will help hold me from one side and help my legs come out of the water. And like I said, I'll go over what it may not be the same for you. You may have a lot of energy, but for me and my body, all my energy is exerted to get baby here. And like immediately once they're here, it's like there's nothing else. So I do need assistance getting out of the pool. Um, Especially since the cord is still attached to baby and the placenta is still in there. So normally someone holds the baby, and then say Sister Jasmine, she's normally with me. Um, she'll have me help me get out the water. Daddy or daddy, my husband, he has me and he has baby, and they help me get out of the pool. Now we have a pool where it's not bigger than me, and I'm a pretty short person. So I normally take one leg over and then they help the other leg come over. But if you have a pool that's really, really tall, you want to make sure that the pool is close to something. So that way, if you're off balance, you can lean up against whatever you have the pool closest to. Um, And then for me, I had to have a bowl like right there, because normally when I start moving around, my placenta just like drops out. It just like whoop, it just comes out while I'm moving. So I have a bowl, and the sisters help me get out of the water and help me get to the bed. I do recommend that your bed be close to wherever your pool is. If you're going to do the water birth, you want to make sure that you start feeling the water before you start feeling pressure, before you start feeling, baby's head pushing up against your anal, before the baby's head is crowding, because it's going to go fast. If you wait to start filling up the water, you won't have enough water in there to actually sit comfortably to get the baby. in the water. If you don't have enough water, you're probably going to have to miss out on the water birth, because you want to make sure that your bottom is completely submerged. Any part of the baby's face that touches air before it hits water, the baby's the signals, the receptors that are on the baby's face is going to signal his brain or her brain, and it's going to tell her to take a breath. Okay? This is why you want to make sure your bottom is fully submerged under the water, because as long as the baby comes out of you into another bag, another place of waters, the receptors won't be triggered. They won't take a breath until you take them out of the water. Okay? So if the pool is not ready, if you don't have enough water, do not get in there, because you do not want to risk your baby taking a breath when you've already began pushing the baby out. So I think those were the main questions, and I got questions on there. Wow. Oh, so I normally don't start working out until after I'm done with purification, and that my purification is over in like 40 days. So, once I'm completely healed and baby seems to be working out just fine, fully developing properly, not having any complication or issues, then we start my workout regimen. So that's normally about 40 days, 6.5 weeks, maybe 7 weeks before doing any type of exercising. And then a lot that will play into it would be your abdominal cavity. If you see that there's a separation still, too far of a separation, that'll kind of key in and let you know whether or not it's okay for you to start exercising again. Okay, so you kind of want to base it off of your abdominal cavity structure, and if you have a hernia, some women develop hernias through childbirth, so you want to get that checked out first to make sure that it'd be okay for you to actually start doing a routine or a workout regimen. Right. If you have any more questions, sis, you can just send me another video. I was actually in the middle of studying, so it's fine. You can send me all the videos and I will get to them when I can. Okay. Bless you. Okay. How do I purify the water? Well, I have used tea tree oil before, and then I have used nothing. One time, the times where I have used nothing to purify the water, is the time that my daughter was coming so fast we didn't have time to put anything in the water, and she was perfectly fine. She didn't get in it, she didn't get any breakouts or anything like that. It was just the regular water, and of course we always use silver hydrosol in the eyes once they're born. So we use tea tree oil to purify the water, or nothing at all. So you can kind of decide whether or not that's what you guys want to do. And we didn't use a lot. We probably used maybe 4 to 6 drops. And I had a very small pool, small in circumference. So the height was, I'm short, so the height was good. Like I can sit on my bottom and I would sit like this on it. So it wasn't very tall. It wasn't large and wide. If you have a really large and wide pool, it's going to take you a lot to fill it up. You may miss it because with the pool that I had, we used 5-gallon buckets to fill up with hot water, and we dumped it. I didn't dump it, but my mother and my sister, they were the ones dumping the water. And so with 5-gallon buckets, 2 of them, with both of them taking turns filling it up and pouring it over, I want to say they did it maybe Maybe in about 30 minutes, they got the pool full, but they had filled up the bucket, I want to say at least 15 times. And my pool wasn't big. Like, it was not one of those large pools. So when you're actually shopping around for a pool for the home birth, you want to make sure it's like a kiddie pool, like one of the kiddie pools that the children, like the little 2-year-olds and the 3-year-olds get, where it's like 3 feet. I think it's 3 feet tall. Yes, 3 feet tall. And then it's just a little circle. You don't need it very big. It doesn't have to be very, very wide, because it's just going to be you in there, unless your husband or somebody else plans on getting in the water with you. You really don't need it. They also have birth pools that you can purchase. They are very expensive. They're about $250. We actually have one. That's the newer pool that we have now. But the first 4 births, my first 4 home births, were in a kiddie pool that I paid $20 for at Walmart. And that same pool that I had for, let me see, my son is he, oh wow. My son's 8 years old now. My son is 8 years old. I've had that pool for 8 years. And let me see, 6 children, I believe, have been born in that birth pool. And it was $20 when I paid for it. Now it's $40. And I found it. Well, I didn't find it. My sister found it. Target sells it, and I think it's on Amazon, but it's going for maybe between $40 and $60 now. If you can't afford the $250 birthing pool, I recommend you getting that pool. Like I said, I had it for 8 years, and 6 babies were birthed in that pool. It was perfectly fine. It has the cushion bottom, and the link, if you are if you're not subscribed, if you are in my Herbal Mamas group on Facebook, the link is actually on there. When she found it, she shared it to me, and we shared it into that group, so that way moms who wanted to actually do a water birth can have access to it. It's very lightweight, very easy to clean. You can use bleach. I use bleach to clean that pool out every single time. Right after and then before I would use it again. So it would get cleaned twice. Yep, and there goes my baby screaming. Let me see. Hallelujah. Yes, ma'am. Bless you. Not a problem at all. So I think that's it. If there's no other questions pertaining to the water birth and how do you do it, it's really simple. It's really not much. You just kind of want to listen to your body. Listen to your body. I know the last birth that I did with my son, who you hear screaming, I had planned to do a water birth because I birthed all of them in the water, but it went a different way. We did not get a chance to do the water birth, and we had everything together. He just was not wanting to come out in the water. In fact, as soon as I got up out of the water, that's when he finally came down willingly and we was able to get him out. So he was actually a dry birth. And I was standing when I had him. So the water birth is pretty simple. I don't get into the water, and I don't recommend you to get into the water until you are ready to push. Outside of that, keep moving around. Allow your hips to continue to be open so that baby can get engaged in the proper position. And then when you know it, when you feel that baby's ready to come down, go ahead and get in that water, because that warm water is what's going to relax you to get you ready to go ahead and enter into that pushing phase. Okay? Let me see. Temperature. Okay, so what I said earlier was most homes, their water gauge, the water temperature is only 120 degrees. So it can be that max. It can be 120 degrees. However the mother can stand it. Okay. And then what I recommend is if you're going to get into hot water, make sure that you're hydrated. Make sure you're hydrated before you even go into labor. Because if you go into labor and you're dehydrated, you're setting yourself up to have a very intense, laborious, uncomfortable delivery. It's not going to be good. No, for one, your muscles are going to be exhausted. And because they don't have the hydration that they need to function properly, you might start seizing and going and cramping, like your legs cramping, not just your uterus cramping, but your legs cramping. So, with getting into the hot water, make sure you're hydrated. I always give the moms here that I help with the birth, I give them bottled water with honey. Right when they're about to get in the water, or if they're feeling exhausted, I put honey in there so that way they get that little boost of energy and they're staying hydrated. Put some honey, put some lemon in there, and just keep drinking. Or if you have coconut water, I drank coconut water through the whole labor with my son, and I was good. So when I got in the water, I did start sweating because it's hot. But hydration is definitely going to help. So however hot the temperature is, make sure that she's staying hydrated. And you have some honey around where if she gets tired and exhausted, because the hot water will cause you to be relaxed. If she feels like she's tired, you put that honey in there and that'll give her an extra boost to get ready to push baby out. Do not stand up out of the water and baby's halfway out. If you stand up out of the water and baby's halfway out, you cannot sit back down. Do not go back in the water because you're going to put baby at risk. Okay? So, if contractions, there is a chance that the contraction will intensify if you're not in there, if you're in there too soon, because your body's going to adjust to the temperature. I'm going to keep saying that. Your body will adjust to the temperature. If you get in and then you get out, be prepared to have stronger contractions than you did before you got in the water. Okay. That's why I don't suggest you getting into the water until you are sure that you're about ready to push. Okay. All right. I think that's it, guys. And if I get any more questions, because there are a lot of women who are embarking upon the journey in labor. And so, even if it's like 4 a.m. in the morning, so I try not to even go live. I don't even know where my laptop is when that happens. I get phone calls at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5. I didn't think I done got a birth call every hour early in the morning. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do a video whenever they're asking me. I don't ever give names anyway. So be like, this is the life of Sister Gabby when somebody's in labor. So bless y'all. I hope this video was beneficial and it answered some questions that you may have had. And keep sending me questions, guys. The more questions y'all send, the more videos I'll be able to put out. Okay? Because it's kind of like whatever you ask, I'm going to make a video because I really don't know. I don't know. I think it's easier that way when I get questions and I can make the video off of that. Sorry, I keep doing that. My teeth are real. I just had some chickpeas. I'm trying to make sure I don't have none in my teeth. So if y'all see me doing that, that's why. Hallelujah. Bless y'all. And I'm supposed to have some more videos on the schedule. So pray that I continue to get to them. I had a video scheduled yesterday and I did not get a chance to do it. It was so busy yesterday, but hallelujah. Peace and blessings. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening, and I will talk at y'all later.